Hi y'all. Hello everybody. Okay, so this video from a member of the Wifey for Lifey group. If you guys don't know, I have a group exclusively for married women and women who aspire to become wives, not living girlfriends. Not, and there's no shade against. I'm not throwing shade. This is all facts. This is, if you're somebody who doesn't care about marriage, X out the video. Not for you. It's not for living girlfriends. It's not for people who are unwilling to set standards to get to marriage, because smart women know how beneficial marriage is. It's not if you want to be an eternal fiance. It's not for none of that. This is for serious minded women who understand that God created marriage to benefit us women, because we are the prize. That's the tagline. That's the tagline on the Wifey for Lifey group Instagram. Follow us on Instagram if you're not following Wifey for Lifey group on Instagram. Follow us. That's my Instagram. Now, you guys know that I am a Christian, but I do not preach to other people to be a Christian, because religion is not important. What's really important is your relationship with God and understanding why God created men and why God created women, and understanding that bond and that connection. So when I bring up, hi everybody coming in, hi. So when I bring up references to God or religion, if it doesn't apply to you, then throw it out the window and keep living your life. Hopefully that works for you, because religion is not what's going to give you peace. It's your relationship with God, following his principles. And none of us are perfect. We're all backsliders. We're all sinners. We're all on the journey. But when I reference my religion or my beliefs, don't let that offend you. Live your life how you want to live your life. Okay? Okay. All right. So this was a requested video from a member of the Wifey for Lifey group. I have a private Wifey for Lifey group. The link is in the bio. It is a monthly membership. It's cheap. It's nothing expensive. It's less than you would spend on coffee in 2 days. So the reason that I charge though is because it's too many people out here that tries to like stir up drama, who aren't serious, who aren't really marriage minded. And so if you are somebody that is married, who is trying to up your game, improve your communication with your husband, improve your relationship, improve whatever aspect of your life that you're trying to improve, that would be the group. Or it's just a safe place to talk about, because I feel like there aren't many safe spaces on the internet to truly talk about what it means to be a wife, to be a virtuous woman, to be a Proverbs 31 woman. I don't think there's a lot of spaces for that. I'm live, baby. What you need? Oh, no, thank you, though. He's bringing me a snack. I won't be long because I know you want to eat, right? Okay, yeah, just give me a few minutes, okay? Love my husband. Okay, so the Wifey for Lifey group is a place for us to talk about what it's like to be a wife. For those of you who aren't married, it's a place to talk about dating, purpose of marriage, different things women go through. But the focus is we are the prize. And it's to present ourselves as the prize. Can y'all hear me clearly? Can y'all tell me if y'all can hear me clearly? Because I have a mic on and I don't know what the mic situation is or if it's working. So can y'all tell me if y'all can hear me before I get started? Okay, you can hear me? Okay, awesome. All right, so first, hey going y'all, I'm trying to up my game a little bit. I've been YouTubing forever. If y'all go back to my old videos, I used to do lookbooks. I used to have like editing, but now I'm on a whole nother tip. I'm on my purpose. I'm about getting to my bag. I'm about my marriage. I'm about looking good. I'm on a whole nother like tip than I was when I was living in America. I'm understanding how wonderful life is to live. And I'm so glad that I took the risk that I took to get to this point where I am at peace with myself and very, very happy. Nothing's ever perfect. Life is not perfect, but it doesn't have to be. Okay? All right. So first, let me talk about my outfit. Y'all, I'm wearing my favorite cardigan, y'all. I got on shorts. Can y'all believe it? Y'all can't see, but I do have on shorts. And y'all, I got a link to this in my Amazon store. I wear it as a top. Like sometimes I tie it up as a top like this. Go to my Instagram if you haven't, the Naturally Fashionable one. Sometimes I wear it like this, like just flowy. I wear it like twice a week now. Like that's how much I love it. So I put a link to my Amazon store. I think y'all should cop this from Amazon because honey, hey. All right. I love that. Okay. So y'all, I love this cardi. That's my outfit of the day before we start the video. And I would highly recommend you go pick this piece up from my Amazon store. You can look at it on my Instagram. Hi, everybody coming in. All right, let's get started. All right. This video is a request from a member of the Wifey for Lifey group. If you want to join the Wifey for Lifey group, if you are a wife or a future wife, go to the link after the video or whatever and join the group. I'm going to give you three YouTube appropriate tips. And what I mean about 3 appropriate YouTube tips is some things I'm not going to talk about on YouTube. I'm only going to talk about in the Wifey for Lifey group because they might be too controversial, or I just don't want to reveal that private information on YouTube. So I'm only going to talk about some private things in the group, things that I learned in my marriage, mistakes that I made in my marriage. Those are things that I will discuss in the group. I will not be discussing that on YouTube because it's too many weird people on YouTube. Okay? Thank you. All right, so let's talk about leveling up in your marriage. First of all, this advice is not for women over... Okay. This advice is this woman who... This is not for women who are meeting, not women. I'm talking about heterosexual relationships right now, not women meeting women. This is not for women who are meeting a man after 30. Okay. So if you are 30 and up, the man you are meeting should already come to you leveled up. Meaning, if the man you're meeting is 35, 40, 50, he should come to you employed with a career, not just a job. He should come to you with some morals. He should come to you, ready to pay for dates and ready to be okay, that should come to you like that. If you are 30 and up, the man should be coming to you like that, okay? And I'm going to explain some of this in the video as you see. This is really for women, those of us who've been married. I've known my husband for about probably a little over 15 years. I met him when I was 23 years old. I was a child, because 23 to me is a child. After you get into your 30s, you realize your 20s. And sometimes when I look at myself as a 30-something-year-old woman, I'm still like, wow, you have so much to learn about life and about your journey in life. So me and my husband came from good families, middle class, upper middle class, okay? We did not come from poverty. We have never had struggle of. That is not the story. We have never been poor. I have never been poor. My husband has never been poor, okay? So let me make that clear. So this is not about using a man, okay? This is about getting what we deserve as women. Period. That's all it is. And giving a man the room to be the provider, the comforter, the strength that he was always meant to be. It does not mean that your husband had moments, lonely moments, It does not mean your husband will be the perfect man all of the time. There's no perfect man. There's no perfect woman. Okay. It doesn't mean that a marriage will not go through low valleys. Or this should be just the standard of how a normal, healthy marriage should run in regards to how your man treats you as a woman. I can't speak from a man's perspective. I can only speak from a woman's perspective. So this message is for women. Men have to talk to men and women have to talk to women. That's how it should work, okay? All right, the first thing. When you're in a marriage, when you've been with your spouse a very long time, sometimes you don't think about things like how romance. Sometimes you don't think about things like affection. Sometimes you don't think about things like finances and how you will get to the next level with your finances when you're dating very young. Because when you're young, you fall in love for love and love only. Okay. That's why it's a very scary age to meet men, because if you were like me, I was naive. Okay. I was naive. I thought, you fall in love, you get married, right. And it worked out for me. It did. But for everyone, okay? It worked out for me. I realized that there were certain things that I needed as a 30-year-old woman that I didn't need as a 20-year-old woman. So as a 20-year-old woman, you might be looking at a man and you might be thinking about sex a lot, or you might be thinking about, how good looking they are, or you might be thinking about just being with someone because you want to be with someone. But what happens to wives when we turn 30 and get to 35 and we start progressing is we start thinking about things like security, being secure, making sure that the fire is still alive in our relationships, that we are being treated like the prize, that our husband is meeting us at our love language. If you haven't read the 5 love languages, I would highly recommend you figure out what love language you are so that you understand how you like to be loved. And most of us fit into more than one category. So it's important for my spouse to know how I like to be loved and for you to know how your spouse likes to be loved, okay? So I have 3 points that I'm going to make in this video, and then I'm going to do the second part in the group, in the Wifey for Lifey group. And if you want to join the Wifey for Lifey group, the link will be in the description box along with this cute cardigan that you should pick up. All right. The first step to leveling up is requiring more. Okay. One thing that me and my husband had to do, and I'm going to talk about this. How am I going to talk about this on YouTube? When it comes to financially leveling up, I'm going to talk about that in the group, but I'm going to talk about the communication here on YouTube. Okay, so one way me and my husband had to level up was our communication and the way that I communicated with him and the way that he communicated with me so that I could get what I want. There were things that I wanted out of my marriage. And for some of you, it's going to be different things. Some of you have kids. You want your husband to help you with the dishes more. Maybe you want your husband to help you vacuum the rugs more. I don't know. Maybe you want your husband to give you more attention. Husband to make more money. Whatever your situation is where you need to level up, you have to require more. So what me and my husband decided to do was to actively improve our communication. He didn't like the way I was communicating with him. It was very masculine. It was very rough. And the number one way to shut your man off is to not give him respect. If you don't respect your spouse, you are never going to be someone who gets everything that you ever want. You're not going to get the love. You're not going to get the attention. You're not going to get the money. You're not going to get anything. He's going to give you the bare minimum if he feels you don't respect him. And while I don't think my husband ever thought I totally disrespected him, because it wasn't that I disrespected him. It's just that I wanted to talk how I wanted to talk. I wanted to say what I wanted to say. I wanted to do what I wanted to do, not thinking about what would be good for the marriage, and also not being strategic to know that there are certain ways I need to interact with my husband to get what I want. So the first, requiring more. So I wanted my husband to communicate with me in a certain type of way. So I sat him down. We decided we were going to take action. We took action, and now he meets the standard of where I want him to communicate with me. And also I meet his standard of how he would like me to communicate with him. So it's not about pushing the problems under the rug. It's about saying, this is what I want and this is what I deserve. Okay. And I'm not going to settle for less. This is how you have to communicate with me in order for us to get along. And you have to be serious about it. You can't just keep seeing that problems are arising in your marriage and you not address them. You have to address them. Same for money. I will tell y'all specifically steps that we took in our marriage to financially work on our future so that we are straight. But my husband has a career, and I know that there are things that he can do with that career outside of going to work to make money. Okay. So as a wife who marries young, now this is not for 30 and up. If you are just dating, if you are actively dating, the man needs to come to you with already a foundation. If you are dating at 20, 21, 22, a lot of times we're not ready for marriage at that age because we haven't experienced life. But I would prefer a 21 or a mature 21, 22, 23, preferably 25 and up, a mature 25-year-old and up to get married rather than to become someone's live-in girlfriend or to live in sexual sin. I would prefer two mature young adults to go ahead and get married or to go ahead and make that commitment before you get stuck living with someone for 10 years, because that is not cool for me. But to each his own. All right. So, requiring more. If you're somebody that's worried about, oh, well, I don't want to hurt his feelings and blah, 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 and I don't want to do this, you're not going to get more, okay? Because when I met my husband at 23, I'm a completely different person now. And he's a completely different person now that we're in our 30s. We're not even the same people, okay? Like, I'm different, he's different. The only thing that stayed consistent and the same was our respect level for each other, our loyalty to each other, our union, our covenant with God, because a marriage is a covenant with God, along with the legal document, but it's a covenant with God. So we kept our covenant with God pure and sacred. And so when you keep your covenant with God pure and sacred, you're able to deal with problems that arise in your marriage, and you're able to level up as a couple. And this is about women. My focus is women. We should get the most money that we can get out of our marriage with support of our husband. We should be getting the most love and affection from our husband. We should be getting gifts from our husband. We should be getting a man that is coming to the table every day, trying to be the best husband as possible. But you also have to be a quality wife. And I will talk about ways that I had to evolve as a wife in the group, so that I could meet the standard to require. Talking about cooking and cleaning, because really, honestly, y'all, I don't cook a lot. That's not a requirement that my husband has. Now, your husband might want you to cook a home cooked meal, but there should be some conversation there. If he expects you to cook every night, then what are you getting out of this deal? You see what I'm saying? It's like everybody needs to be fulfilled in the relationship. So if you have a man who says, hey, baby, I want you to cook. I like your home cooked meals. I want you to cook at least 2 or 3 times a week. And he asks you nicely and he's loving about it. Okay, that's fine. But what do I get? What do I get out of this deal? It's really, a lot of it is about strategy. Oh, as well as love and compromise, you know? All right, so you have to require more. Ladies, even as a married woman, I have standards. Did you hear what I said? I have standards as a married woman. It's not just a free for all. Okay? You got to meet my standards still as a wife. Okay? And he has standards. We both got standards. The second thing is be feminine. Now, a lot of women think they're feminine and they're not. You're not feminine because you put on a dress. It will happen. You can't say, I hope it will happen. You have to know you're going to get married. 31 is still very young. You're under the 35, that mountain that we start climbing at 35. 31 is still young. People get married older in today's society. You have to say, I know I'm going to get married. I know I'm the prize. I'm just waiting for the right man, for God to put the right man in my life to meet me where I am, emotionally, spiritually, financially. You got to know you're the prize and you're going to get married. If you say, I hope I get married, I think chances are going to be slim you're going to get married. That's my opinion about it. If I say, I hope I stay married, I feel like chances are slim that my husband is going to look at me as the prize if I think I'm going to lose him. Because let me tell you something. If he loses me, that's where the problem's going to be. Okay, so you got to be feminine. And a lot of women were raised in home. And I tell my story of evolving my femininity. I feel like I was always a feminine woman, meaning I always put on a little face. I always looked feminine in my style. But my attitude was masculine. And baby, let me tell you, when you learn to put on that feminine charm, and I'm not talking about sexuality necessarily. Sex could be a part of your feminine allure, but that's not really what we're talking about here. We're talking about your mannerisms, your behavior, the way you speak, the way you handle conflict, the way you talk to your husband, the way you get in his head, the way you can wrap him around your finger. All of that comes from femininity. Women are the dominant relationship, meaning that we don't lead. Our man should lead. Be making your man think he is leading. We have the most influence. And if you listen to anyone who talks about relationships, even here on YouTube, or if you read books, we're reading a book right now in the Wifey for Lifey group. It is an amazing group. If you're not a part of the Wifey for Lifey group and you want to get married or you are married, you need to go join the group, because we're going to have some conversations about how to upstep your femininity. And some of you who are in my fashion group did the femininity challenge. So we had a femininity challenge in my fashion group. Those of you who are in the fashion group. All right. We are influential. The woman is the influential voice in the house. That sounded kind of ghetto. Let me repeat that. The woman is the influential voice in the home, in the house. Okay. A savvy, influential woman who knows how to walk. The link is in the description box to the groups. A woman who knows how to walk in her femininity can get whatever she wants. I know for a fact I can get whatever I want out of my husband if I'm putting on my feminine charm. Okay? He can't resist it. He can't resist my femininity. There are a few things. I had a call. My husband can resist a lot of things, but he cannot resist my femininity. He can't resist it. He really can't. And a lot of times I can get my way just because of how feminine I become with him. He loves it. Okay? So a lot of y'all can't get what you want out of your man because you trying to be the man. You in competition with him. You trying to be his mama. And yeah, men do things wrong sometimes. And sometimes they don't think well. And that's when the woman has to come in and say, well, babe, this is acceptable for me. This is unacceptable for me. This is how I feel. But you can't be his mama. If you act like you your man's mama, he's going to be turned off by you. and he's gonna tune you straight out. You're not gonna be able to get anything your way. Okay. You can't be his mama. You can't be in competition with your man. You can't be trying to like be the boss and embarrass him in public and talk over him and tell him what he gonna do and what you not gonna do, and you gonna lose. You gonna lose every time. And women are there's a woman somewhere in the world right now crying in her pillow trying to get her man to do something, and she can't get her man to do nothing because you trying to be the man. Masculine and masculine don't work. Feminine and masculine curve together like two bodies. Okay? And I will talk more about this in the group. All right, the third point I'm going to make before I get out of here is you are going to have to be that voice in your man's ear to elevate himself. Now. You can't go look for the new job. You can't tell him how to get that promotion. You can't force him to go back to school to add that certification or to get that master's degree or to whatever he needs to do to elevate. You're going to have to start putting the bug in his ear. And there are various strategies that you can use if you're trying to elevate your man in the area of career. And this is about career. You know, there are little things you can do to encourage your man. You know, like you can tell your man, let's say he was a person that fixed technician. He was a technician. And he has a job and he's a technician and he fixes computers and he does things like that. And you want him to level up, meaning his pay might be all right, but it's not enough for maybe you to do something extra for your kids, or it's not enough for you to get your nails done every 2 weeks. You know, a woman should be able every month to get her hair and her nails done. If you got a man, you should be able to get your nails at the minimum, at the bare minimum. You should be able to get your hair and your nails done, as well as household bills being paid. Okay, if you were somebody that you can't even get your nails and your hair done, well, it's time to start having conversations with your man, with your husband, about his career path. But it can't be in a way where you are trying to change him, you are trying to put him down, because if he starts feeling insecure, he's not going to level up. He's just going to reverse. It's going to be like the reverse action is going to happen. So one thing you always want to encourage, and this is, let me say this. If you don't have a high quality man, these strategies will not work. A lot of women are trying to turn a low quality man into a high quality man. And there are some men who have great jobs that are low quality. Okay? Just because a man is successful at what he does, or he makes a lot of money, or he can provide for you, it doesn't mean he's high quality. He could still be low quality, meaning his personality sucks, his attitude sucks, he's selfish, he's manipulative, he's mean, he is all about self. That's not a high quality man. A high quality man has morals, and their morals are going to be at the front of the marriage, meaning they're not going to want to hurt you. My husband, that is his biggest fear, is hurting me. I always ask him, I say, this is kind of off topic, but I do want to share. Sometimes sit down and ask your man, if you've been with your man for a long time, like I've been with my man for a long time, ask him, like, what keeps you from cheating on me? That's things I ask my husband sometimes. And I say, you know what, babe, what keeps you from cheating on me? And he'll, you know, I never really thought about cheating on you because that's not who I am as a man. But if I was going to cheat on you, if I was in that situation where I was going to cheat on you, he said, what would stop me is knowing how bad it would hurt you. And y'all, I could have cried when we had that conversation. You know, he was like, just knowing how bad it would hurt you. Not knowing that I would leave him, because he knows that probably is going to happen. Not knowing that I would leave him. He wasn't thinking about himself. He was thinking about me. That's what femininity does in your relationship. It draws you closer. It increases your intimacy. It increases your bond. That's what femininity in a relationship can do for your marriage and level it all the way up. So when you want your man to do better in the area of finances, and I'm specifically going to be talking about that in the group because I have some tips for that. But when you want your man to do better for you financially, first you have to be grateful for what he's already doing. If he gets up, he goes to work every day, he pays all those major household bills, you need to be grateful for that. You need to tell him, babe, you know, I appreciate you. I appreciate you getting up every day, going to work. But if you have the kind of man that wants you to split every bill, he takes the bill and he's like 50-50, it's going to be hard for you to praise him because it's like that's your roommate instead of your partner and somebody who is supposed to look out for you and take care of you. They're making you into like a roommate type situation where they have all these systems of how the bill's going to be paid. And I always feel the rent and the mortgage at the least, at the bare minimum, should be taken care of by the husband. Because in my world, if I have to scramble around to pay the rent or the mortgage, then why am I with you? Because you're supposed to be the one that is giving me security, protection. I don't see the benefit. And then some of y'all got kids on top of it. So you telling me you go to work all day, then you got to come home and take care of the kids, then you got to meet the needs of your husband, and then you got to split all the bills down the middle? I think you got to reflect on this. Now, if you're a stay-at-home mom, this doesn't pertain to you because you don't have to contribute in that way. You're the homemaker. Of course, you're taking care of the kids while he goes out to work. But I have a problem with the man laying all the bills out on the table. I have a serious problem with any man who lays all the bills out on the table and is like, where's your half? That doesn't mean you don't contribute. You might do 70-30 in your house. You know, you might have to do 60-40 depending on how much income your man is bringing in. But it definitely should never be a thing where you are required to split the bills. Like, I don't understand that. That's not even biblical. That's not biblical, okay? So you ain't ever gonna get me to support that because that's not biblical. I'm never gonna support that. A man's supposed to provide. And if anyone's making sacrifices, it should be the man. Let me repeat that. If anyone is going to make the sacrifice in my home, it's going to be the man. Because I'm the prize. Now, you can't be the prize if you look a hot mess. I'm just going to be honest. You didn't let yourself go. You didn't gain 100 pounds. Your attitude sucks. You don't respect your husband. You don't know how to talk to him. You haven't learned him. You don't know his quirks. You don't know what makes him tick. You don't know what makes him happy. You don't know what makes him sad. You don't know how to change his mood. You don't know what turns him on. You don't know what turns him off. Ain't none of this gonna help if you don't know these things. If you need to level up as a plus size woman, I am a plus size woman. It's harder for us. You know, it's harder for us to keep that allure, especially when we got a little weight on us. And anytime you got a little weight on you, that's a barrier. So those of you who are not overweight, you have an easier time keeping your looks up because it's probably easier to dress your body. You may not have, you know, some of the issues that a plus size woman has, weight down, especially if you're a plus size woman that has an unhealthy relationship with food, you know. So if you're plus size, go look at my Level Up series for being plus size in dating, plus size with your style, and leveling up your makeup tips. I did all videos on that. So these are the tips that I'm sharing with you today. I am done. I will give you the next 3 level up tips in the private group, Wifey for Lifey, along with some specific strategies that I would use if you were trying to get more help around the house, if you were trying to level up in your finances as a couple. I think women don't understand how to plant a seed. You don't do the work, okay? You plant the seed. A woman should not be interfering with her man's career, telling him what direction to go in, what he should do, what he shouldn't do, and helping him fill out applications and resumes. Now, he can ask you questions. It's a partnership, but you should not be doing the work. He should be doing the work to better himself. So when you're trying to level up as a couple with finances on your man's end, you have to plant seeds. And some of y'all don't know how to plant a seed. You got to learn how to plant seeds so that your husband can take care of that seed and make it grow. Just like a baby, when you're pregnant, that baby has to grow and blossom. And each week, that baby is developing. You know, body parts are developing, the brain, the heart, all of that. The baby has to be ready for you to birth it, okay? And that is the same thing when you've been married for a long time, like me, when you got married young and you're starting to evolve as two different people, but you want to level up to get to a place in your relationship financially, communication-wise, sexually, or whatever it is the issue is in your marriage that you are trying to level up with, you have to know how to plant seeds so that that seed can be cultivated and can come into fruition. And I'm not telling you something that I have not gone through. Me and my husband had to, and we always have been on one accord. That's one thing I can say about my marriage. I cannot make up some big lie about marriage or that I've had to overcome something. Me and my husband really always were very rooted in our marriage. We're equally yoked. We believe God is at the top and our marriage falls right under it. It's going to be more difficult with somebody who does not respect the institution of marriage, but it's not impossible. So that's it, you guys. Do y'all have anything? I don't just want to leave without saying bye. And the link to join the Wifey for Lifey group is in the description box. I'll be going over the last three points exclusively in the group. Do y'all have anything to say before I get out of here? Did y'all enjoy the video? There's so much more I can say, and I get so tongue-tied because I'm so excited, and I want to share this information because a lot of the information that's out here on the internet or on YouTube or on websites is very weird. It's very weird. It's very destructive. And we need a common sense voice. You know, I live well and I get what I want. I promise you. I get what I want. And I make my own money. So I don't need my husband for money. You know, I have my own. I've always had a career from the very beginning. So my marriage really is rooted in love, but I do have requirements. Okay. All right, guys, I will see you in the group for those of you who are going to join the Wifey. I also let the lardy that I'm wearing, y'all. And I told them I got on shorts today, y'all. Y'all know I do not wear shorts, honey. I do not wear shorts. But I got some shorts on. So I linked this in my bio. And I will see you guys later. I love you. God bless. Have a great evening. And I will talk to you later.